Today on Across the Fence, you're invited to a free meal, courtesy of Vermont farmers. We'll learn about local food from local farms as we preview the upcoming Breakfast on the Farm events. Good afternoon and thanks for joining us. I'm Judy Simpson. Last summer, Vermont's very first Breakfast on the Farm drew more than 500 visitors to a dairy farm in Ferrisburgh. This summer, Breakfast on the Farm is expanding. The event remains completely free, but there are now 2 Breakfast on the Farm dates. The first is Saturday, June 25th at the Neatok Dairy Farm in Ferrisburgh, and on Saturday, August 27th, the second Breakfast on the Farm will be held at Green Mountain Dairy Farm in Sheldon. We'll have more information about getting your free tickets at the end of today's program. While the free breakfast grabs the headlines, Breakfast on the Farm offers much more than a free meal.
And what's behind you?
A tractor.
A tractor?
Today we're at Vermont's first Breakfast on the Farm, hosted by the Vanderway family in Ferrisburgh. And we're really excited to have all the visitors coming, and they're going to be able to have breakfast here and then go on a tour and see different parts of the farm.
What do you guys think so far? Unbelievable, really.
And that little thing that goes around and just pushes the hay back in, it's like, wow.
Well, it was really cool to see all the cows, and we saw the robots that were milking the cows. That was neat. We've never seen that before.
So we have 9 educational stations set up today. From a milk truck setup, we have stations set up so people can learn how much cows eat. We have stations where little kids can climb up in tractors, the stations in the barn. Lots of different things for people today, and we're really excited about them.
We house 235 milking cows, which go through a robotic milking system.
By having this technology, the cows come in, get a little grain, get milked, but they come in whenever they want.
I think learning about the technology of dairy farming was really neat.
Oh my God, that calf is almost here. We have to go check that out.
You know, I'm the veterinarian for this farm. So our job to keep animals healthy and productive, keep them happy. Part of my mission is to help consumers understand modern food production and dairy production specifically. So we're able to really pass that message along today.
I was amazed how much they really took time to make it so it was at the kids' level. I think they got a lot out of it. They really enjoyed it.
It's a great experience for the kids. We don't get it enough, I think. Just get the kids out into the community and what Vermont has to offer, right?
We depended totally on sponsorships. Some are from the dairy producers themselves and from a lot of local businesses and agencies that work with farmers. So they put in sponsorships so we could conduct this event completely free.
I think this is probably one of the most important things a sponsor and a farmer can do. For them to help those consumers understand what's involved in agriculture and the food system is an investment in their future and an investment in our community's future.
Well, people like ourselves that are involved in agriculture basically know how food's produced. But it's exciting to be able to get other people on the farm and have a great farm like this open their doors and let people walk through and show them what's really going on.
It's turning out to be a great opportunity to reach out to the public. You know, it's always good to hear that we're doing a good job.
This event will be a success if even a portion of the people that are coming today feel like they understand better how much farmers care about their animals and care about the environment. It would be even better if they told their friends, and maybe they'll come again next year as well.
It'd be great for somebody to do it again.
Go for it. Have fun.
To find out more about Breakfast on the Farm, I'm joined now by 2 guests. Dr. Julie Smith is a veterinarian and dairy specialist with UVM Extension, and alongside Julie is Claire Stanley. Claire's family owns and operates Paul Lynn Dairy Farm in East Fairfield. Thank you both for coming.
Glad to be here.
Yes. Julie, why was Breakfast on the Farm started?
Well, the whole purpose behind Breakfast on the Farm is to bring the general public out to a modern, working dairy farm. And here in Vermont, we started the event just last year, was our first event, and we modeled it after events that have been held in Michigan for several years. And based on the success of those events and what they were hearing from the participants after they left, and how excited they were and how much they learned, we thought that it would be a great event to bring here to Vermont. Like you saw in the video, folks come to the farm, they enjoy a free pancake breakfast featuring some local foods, local Vermont foods. Then they have a tour of the farm, they can meet the farm family, and the whole point is so that they can really see how the farm works. We want people to experience the farm for themselves. We want them to see how the animals are being cared for. We want them to learn how farmers are caring for the environment. We want them to gain a better understanding of how the foods that are produced on the farms are safe and nutritious.
And you also asked people to take a survey too.
Yeah, and so last year, our first event drew over 500 people.
That's incredible.
Our goal for the events this year is over 1,000 at each event. And we do survey as many folks as will take our survey afterwards. And last year, we were really excited to find that of the folks who came, many of whom, it was their first time to the farm or their first time in the last 20 years, that their response to a question about whether they agreed that farmers were treating their animals humanely increased from just over 60% to over 90% just after touring the farm.
No kidding.
So we think it's really a great way for people to get an on-the-ground understanding of what goes on dairy farms, which is the #1 sector of Vermont's agricultural economy.
Now, Claire, part of your role at each site is to coordinate over 100 volunteers as well as to be a resource for questions that people might have. As a farmer, why is it important to be involved in events like Breakfast on the Farm?
These events, they're hugely important. There's a growing disconnect right now between the consumer and the farmer. Even in the rural communities that we live in, a lot of the times our neighbors are farmers and consumers still don't really know the details of what it takes. So these events give us an opportunity to show what's involved in ag and the day-to-day prospects of it. As farmers, we know personally how much we invest in the environment and all the work that we do to make a healthy product. And hopefully these events will just increase consumer confidence in all that we do. And like in the survey that Julie was referring to, people said afterwards that they would be 30% more likely to purchase Vermont products, which is awesome. That's, at the end of the day, that's what we live off of.
Yeah, and they go to the store and see your products on the shelves.
Yep.
Now, Julie, what sort of organizations and people have come together to make Breakfast on the Farm possible?
So the Breakfast on the Farm event takes really the entire agricultural community to be successful. And like we said, the breakfast is free. The breakfast is free, the tour is free, all the kids' activities are free. And this requires sponsorships, donations, and contributions of time and resources from agencies, organizations, businesses, and the farmers themselves who are involved in the agricultural community, and that's what it takes to pull it off. And they all understand the value of getting people out to the farm where they can see what's going on. They're going to learn about different aspects of what's involved in farming and have a chance to ask their questions. If there's something that they had a concern with when they arrived at the farm, they can ask that question. And there's lots of people there to help them get a better understanding of what really goes on in caring for the animals and the land on the farm.
So, Julie, what's your role?
So I'll be coordinating the educational activities, and basically my role is to work with the committee, and we identify folks who can take a lead on different educational stations to highlight different aspects of the farm that we think are important for people to learn about. So we're coordinating several different stations. We have things ranging from renewable energy on the farm. We've got wind power at the farm in Ferrisburg. We've got a methane digester on the farm in Sheldon. We'll be highlighting different aspects of the cow and calf care on the farm. And all throughout, there's kids' activities, including this year, we're planning to have a station where kids can cycle and make a smoothie. So there's going to be a lot going on this year.
Now, you must get a lot of questions. What do people want to know?
Sure. The questions run the gamut. A lot of questions are just basic questions about the animals on the farm. How long does it take for a calf to grow into a cow who's making milk? How long does a cow carry a calf before the calf's born? Last year, a lot of folks were really lucky to see a calf born, and so they could see just how fast that calf is able to get up and start looking around for mom to get that first drink of colostrum. Some people want to know more about the foods. What are we growing in the fields and feeding to the cows? Questions about, well, what are you doing to protect the lake? And you can see the lake from the farm in Ferrisburg. So we answer questions like that. Some people want to know more about the care of the animals and want to know how to know if the cows are being overworked. And we can take them and show them and explain how those animals are cared for.
What are some of the key things that you hope people will take away from this experience?
I think the bottom line is that we want them to recognize the hard work that farmers put into what they do and that they really care. That they care about their animals and they care about the environment, and they really are doing their best to provide a safe and nutritious product for all of us.
Now, Claire, as a dairy farmer, what do you want people to take away from their visit to the farm?
We really just want people to have a better feeling about the modern dairy farm and its practices. Like I said before, the disconnect, and a lot of people are getting information secondhand from Facebook or documentaries or online. And we really want to give people an opportunity to see for themselves and make a decision, an informed decision on their own about what the dairy industry looks like, as opposed to making decisions off of the interpretations of secondhand or other people's thoughts. So we really just want people to feel good about their dairy purchases, you know, feel positive about when they grab that block of cheese or the gallon of milk or some ice cream, and not just be excited because they're going to get to eat ice cream, but also that they know the person behind that.
And it's pretty likely in Vermont that whatever dairy product they buy on the shelf has milk in it that was produced right here in Vermont, because Vermont produces 2/3 of all the milk that's processed in New England.
Wow. So, Claire, are there any misunderstandings that you hope to correct about farming for folks?
There's a lot of misconceptions right now with farming based on the secondhand information and all of the disconnect, the growing disconnect. We just want to show that we're stewards and guardians of this open land that we all love to see in Vermont. The land is the lifeblood for the farmer. Without protecting the land and the waterways and such, we don't really have a way to be farmers anymore. So we're coming up with innovative practices to conserve land and water and protect water, such as injecting manure as opposed to broadcast spraying to decrease runoff and get the nutrients right into the soil where we need it. The other thing is that we love our cows. The cows, that's the best part. That's why we do what we do. Happy cows make quality milk. If we're not caring for our cows, if they're not happy cows, then we don't have a saleable product. So we work with vets and nutritionists every day to make sure that our animals are as happy as they can be.
Do you think that there's a need for more educational programs like this?
Yeah, definitely. It's important for the community to meet the farmers behind these local Vermont healthy products. Just to put a face with a name kind of thing. 97% of all U.S. farms are actually family farms, and that's even more so true in Vermont. So we just want to make a connection and just want people to know, don't be afraid to ask farmers questions. We're here, we're really, really proud of what we do, and we just want to share with everybody how much fun we're having.
I think people will be surprised to know how much you have to know to be a farmer.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yep. Yeah.
And so, tell me a little bit too about, we were looking at the video and everyone was wearing sort of booties on their feet. Tell me why that is.
Yep, so another one of my responsibilities actually is the biosecurity aspect of the farm, to make sure that people don't inadvertently bring some kind of disease onto the farm and don't take anything home with them at the end of the day. Mm-hmm. So we do ask everyone to put on protective overshoes when they come on the farm and drop them off before they leave, and that way everyone will stay healthy.
All right, well, as we mentioned at the beginning of the program, there are 2 free Breakfast on the Farm dates this summer. The first is Saturday, June 25th at the Neatalk Farm in Ferrisburg, and on Saturday, August 27th, Breakfast on the Farm will be hosted by Green Mountain Dairy Farm in Sheldon. Both events are free, but you do need a ticket to attend. You can get your free tickets by going online to the Vermont Breakfast on the Farm website. It's listed on your screen. Again, the events are free, but a ticket is needed for breakfast seating. So go online to vermontbreakfastonthefarm.com. If you have any questions or need more information, you can call 802-828-2430. That's 802-828-2430. And Julie, I know there was something that you wanted to mention too before we ended the program.
Just so everyone is clear, it's a free, family-friendly event, and we hope that you'll come and join us for Vermont's Breakfast on the Farm this summer.
And once again, you do need a reservation, but you're expecting a lot of people. Make a reservation,
it's free. Come join the 1,000 people at each event.
All right, well, I want to thank you both for joining me today.
Glad to be here.
That's our program for today. I'm Judy Simpson. We'll see you again next time on Across the Fence.